I'm, oh my god, uncomfy. I'm wearing shoes in the house, so I'm trying not to make my clothes dirty. But the whole reason I'm wearing shoes is because it is bloody cold. It is bloody cold right now. Hi guys. Um, I've seen a lot of people do the like trend or like a tag. I'm not sure if it is a tag, but you know, the whole thing where they say if you like this book, then you'll like this book, basically. And I thought I'd give it a little spin. So I haven't seen anyone do this actually. If they have, let me know so I can credit them for their idea down below. But what I want to do basically is I want to recommend you a TV show based on a book, because as much as we all love reading, obviously, sometimes you just get into a slump and the only way to get out of it is to just do something else and just don't read. But you want to entertain yourself, you want to pass the time, so I thought I could recommend you some TV shows that can get you out of your slump, because that often works for me. I just don't want to read, so I'll binge watch a Netflix show instead. It is what it is. I don't have a life, nor do I have friends, so fictional people will still have to do, no matter in what format they come. So I've made a little list of, let's see. I've made a little list of 6 books or 6 series. And each of them, well, most of them have 2 TV shows accompanying it. So let's get right into it. So I want to start off with The Sun is Also a Star. A few tropes I found in The Sun is Also a Star are like a culture clash between our main 2 characters. Obviously, it's a contemporary, and it has the aspect of insta love. So if you like The Sun is Also a Star, the TV shows I think you'll like are Emily in Paris and Easy. Emily in Paris is a contemporary TV show with a few of the same aspects that The Sun is Also a Star has. It also has a culture clash, not necessarily between 2 people, but between Emily, who moved from the US to Paris. So she's struggling with the whole difference of culture that there is in the US and that there is in France. The doorbell. So where was I? Right. And there's also the love aspect. She meets someone in Paris who, well, yeah, a love interest. So it has the whole budding romance. It's easygoing. So it's not really a heavy show. It just, for me, matches the vibe of The Sun is Also a Star very well. And Easy is a show about love. It's also very easy to watch. It's not necessarily a big coherent show, so you can watch an episode. Well, each episode is kind of like a short story and standalone. Within the episodes, you follow a couple who are going through some struggles in their love life, basically. The next book I have is the Trilogy. That does not roll off the tongue easily. Trilogy. Yes, that. It's in the corner up there. You probably can't see it very well, but it's right here. If you like the Trilogy, you will also like The Order and the Shannara Chronicles. In The Order, there's basically the aspect of a secret society, which is a very big part of the Trilogy. You also have the magic aspect and a little bit of, you know, family issues and a family aspect in The Order, which you also find in the Trilogy. In the Shannara Chronicles, it's more so on the fantasy side. Trill is also fantasy, but I find it to be a little bit more low fantasy, even though the people in Trill are trolls. It still reoccurs in the real world, except kind of like secret society, kind of Harry Potter-ish, if that makes sense, like Hogwarts. So in the Shannara Chronicles, you basically follow elves who are on a quest to defeat demonic evil in their elf world. That's a lot more high fantasy. So where Trill's a little bit more low fantasy, Shannara Chronicles is a little bit more high fantasy, but I feel like it matches up pretty well. It's also based off of a book, so if you have read the Shannara Chronicles, which is a trilogy, I believe, then you can judge for yourself whether the show is good, like based off of the books, if it does the books justice. I haven't read the Chronicles, so I have no clue. So don't roast me, please. If you have read the Winner's trilogy, so The Winner's Curse, The Winner's Crime, and The Winner's Kiss, you will like The Crown and Cursed. The Crown, solely for the royalty aspect of it and the fact that it is historical, but it isn't necessarily fiction. Has a bit of fiction aspects in it, but it is not, I wouldn't say this is like the go-to, but I personally think The Crown is a very good show, and it gave me a little bit of Winner's Curse vibes, because that is, if you know, also, well, I mean, if I'm recommending this to you because you liked it, then you know what it's about. But it's also a royal family, so solely for that, actually, the whole royalty aspect of it. And then Cursed is actually more for the like witchcraft magic aspect of it, the fact that it is fantasy and historical fiction. It takes place in the 1800s, 17 or 18. I'm not too sure about it, but so yeah, it is like historical fiction with magical elements, which I personally enjoy a lot. Then, if you liked 1Q84 or 1984 by Haruki Murakami, then you'll also like Black Mirror and Continuum. Haruki Murakami, the biggest aspect in 1984 is the element of having a parallel universe, which Black Mirror is big for, that having the parallel universe aspect. So solely for that, it already got sent in with that book. Yes, it's also dystopian and kind of scary. Black Mirror, it's not like a horror thriller kind of thing, but it's a little scary, like kind of thriller-ish, if that makes any sense at all. If it doesn't, well, then yes, I never make sense. So is that anything new? Really, I doubt it. Continuum is a sci-fi show which centers around time travel, and it has the big aspect of overthrowing the government, which isn't necessarily a part of 1984, but it does give off that same kind of like, I don't know, it gives off parallel universe. Yeah. Oh, hallo. Nee, maakt niet uit. Ik dacht dat je Lanneke was. Lanneke. Hoe was werk?
Where did you go today?
Nergens. Yeah, I don't know, just the sci-fi elements. Continuum really gives me 1984 vibes, so that's why I threw it in. Honestly, I couldn't necessarily give you a reason why, except that it just gives me that vibe. So you can just like check out a trailer. I'll link one down below for every show, so you can even see if it interests you at all. Lastly, if you liked the Stardust duology, so Starters and Enders, you will like Westworld. There is one really, really, really big parallel between Starters and Westworld. It is the fact that there is basically a program in which a person can like put their brain or like their consciousness inside of a host body, and they could practically do whatever they wanted without reprimand. That is Starters in a sense. And Westworld is the exact same. It's a dystopian, and in which there are people who can, yeah, you can put yourself in a host body and you can basically live out your wildest fantasies. Yeah, so those were all my recommendations. I have a few honorable mentions for good shows to watch if you are in a reading slump and you just want to, do something other than reading, have a good watch. One of the shows is Luna Nera. If I said that wrong, which I probably did, excuse me. Luna Nera is a historical fiction show which centers around witches and witchcraft, and how they are, yeah, well, obviously no bueno in society, and there basically comes a huge revolution, like kind of a war, that. Another honorable mention is Jane the Virgin. Jane the Virgin is a pretty funny show, just something to watch quickly if you're into contemporary and stuff like To All the Boys I Loved Before and all that those kind of movies, The Kissing Booth. Jane the Virgin will be a show that fits in very well. The last honorable mention I have is The Magicians. It's a American fantasy show, which is basically it's about a university where people go to learn magic. It sounds very on the nose, and if you watch the first season, you will also realize that it's a little bit so-so, but I promise you it gets better after the first season. So just hang in there and watch the show. If you're into like magic stuff and like, you know, magic schools and those premises, then I think you'll really enjoy The Magicians. So that does it for my video today. If you liked it, leave a like down below. Comment what I can improve on in your opinion and what other videos you'd like to see from me. I hope I didn't offend anyone with these recommendations. We all know people can be picky about their book choices, but I tried my best. This is obviously just my personal opinion and what I think matches well. But if you have any other recommendations or any series you think that would match for people that like particular books, also leave them down below so everyone can go have a look and see what other shows they can possibly get into. Thank you for watching once again, and I'll see you later. Bye.